Good morning, geometry students, afternoon, whenever you're watching this, late at night maybe. I'm working on Unit 3, Parallel and Perpendicular Lines, Homework 7, Point Slope Form. And the formula that we're working, the point slope formula, remember, is going to be y minus y1 equals m in parentheses x minus x1. So we put our points here in x1 and y1, and the m is our slope. So when we're given the slope, we put that there, and then we put our x-coordinate, which comes first, just like in the alphabet, x, y. We put that there, and then we put our y there. If I can make this a little bit easier for you, might as well get the y by itself, this y by itself on one side of the equation to start with. Notice I would have to add a y1 to both sides. So I just put my y1 here, and I'm going to be working with this. I'm going to change the formula to this to kind of save a step and make life a little bit easier. These are the same. I'm just getting my y by itself on one side of the equation to get us started. Okay? All right, so taking a look at number one, I'm giving my x and my y. This is my x, this is my y. So my x1 and y1. And my slope is -2. So here's my formula, once again, with the y1 over here added. It just makes life a little easier. I put in my slope is -2. I put in my x1, which is 0. I put in my y1, which is 3. Got these from up here. Then I just work out the problem. -2 times x is -2x. -2 times a 0 is just nothing there, and I have this +3 at the end. There, I'm done. Number 3, you could slow this down as needed. I write my formula. I write my formula every time so I can better memorize it. And so I'm going to have my slope is going to be 1/4, given right here. I put my x value in. Notice it's a minus x1. A minus a negative becomes addition, so I have +8. And then I'm adding my y1, which is right here. I just work this out. 1/4 times x is 1/4 x. 1/4 of 8 is 2. And then I just bring down this +6. If you're not sure how to find 1/4 of 8, if you're not sure about that, you would put in parentheses 1 divided by 4, that's 1/4, and then just put 8 right next to it because that means multiplication. That's 1/4 of 8, and then you get 2. Okay, you do that for all fractions. Make it a division problem. That's what fractions are. I combine these terms, this 2 and this 6, and so I get my final equation in slope-intercept form. And then number 5, a little bit more complicated because first of all I have to discover the slope. So I have to discover the slope. So my slope formula is m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That becomes this. Notice I took my y2 minus my y1, and then I took my x2, I label them all the time, minus my x1. I end up getting -5 over 5, which is just -1. Okay, then I use this formula and I plug in that -1 because that's my slope, and I'm just going to grab those first two, my x1 and my y1. If you happen to grab your x2 and y2, as long as you're using these two, you'll actually get the same answer. It's pretty cool because they lie on the same line. But I went ahead and just did my x1 and y1. So here's my x1. I'm subtracting my x1 and I'm adding my y1. Ends up being this as my slope-intercept form, if you follow step by step. And then number 7 says write the equation of a line that is parallel to the line y equals 3x plus 6 and passes through the point 47. So it's going to be parallel, so it's going to have the same slope. And here is the slope right here. It's already written in slope-intercept form, so that makes it nice and easy. And here's my point. So I just made it look like these problems up here, where it gives you the point and the slope. So here's the point and the slope. I'm using point-slope formula. Okay, I plug in those points, minus my x1 plus my y1, and here's my slope. 3 times x is 3x, 3 times a negative 4 is a negative 12, and then I have this plus 7. I combine this negative 12 and this 7, and I end up getting 3x minus 5, y equals 3x minus 5. I'm going to stop this because whenever I download a long video, it ends up being taking a real long time. So I'm going to split this in two because I have a lot to explain on the next page. So look for the next video for the next page.